All right, what's up, folks? A couple of you here. Justin, Cutie back. Let's see who else is showing up here for me. It says 7 viewers, but shows that nobody's in chat. So hey, there you go, technology. Hey, Skadoots, what's going on? Dongle. We got our boy Alex Rivera, Playful Gorilla, here tonight, hanging out with us, and so stoked that you can be here, man. And
what's up, everybody? No, thank you for the invite, man. This is,
yeah.
you know, I'm a huge fan, so this
Likewise.
is always fucking fun to kind of chop it up and
Likewise.
be able to kind of just bullshit a little bit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're following along on the Twitch as well. Skadoots is asking how you're feeling. Donner don't care.
Good dude. I to be honest, from this morning to right now, I feel like a brand new man. I feel good. Thank you for everybody who's been checking up on me all day today. I had a little hiccup. I had a little condition I had to take care of. So don't mind me rocking the sunglasses and night, since I got to keep as little light coming in as humanly possible to make sure I'm not going stir crazy there. But I appreciate everybody who checked in on me. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, the positive thing is you're trending in the right direction and things are better now. So that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, man, it's something that I deal with. This is like the third time it's happened. It's gonna be something I'm gonna continuously deal with. Yeah. I know now the routine. I just knew last Friday when it started. I'm like, oh, I cannot be happening again. So, it is what it is. I pushed through it this week, but this morning I couldn't take it anymore. So had to go to see the eye doctor or emergency room eye doctor. So they took care of it. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks when I get that fucking bill.
Oh man. Well, we're glad you were able to get treated. Clint Crockett says he just thought your future was so bright. That's why you got the shades. We know what's
boom. That's that. I take everything I just said back. It's exactly that.
It's the future.
So
Future's
bright.
too bright.
I gotta wear.
Awesome. Yeah. Well. So again, thanks for being here. Excited that you said yes, and excited it's so soon in doing this. Those who come in here and hang out week after week know that I started. Bean was the first person that came on, and I had another artist or creator on with me, and I was like, man, this is really fun to kind of shake it up a little bit. And I've asked a variety of artists to be on. Some are regulars in the scene and everybody knows and loves them, and others are people that maybe I just admire but aren't maybe in our toy scene but are cool artists, and just want to introduce people to artists maybe they don't know, or in your case where they might know you, maybe hear some stories they haven't heard before, or dig a little deeper in certain avenues, and just to hear things like what keeps you going, what got you started, and stuff like that, and then offering an opportunity if there's any stuff you want to offer up to the people. I want to give people, share my platform, what it is that, if you have stuff you want to sell, because I know it's always a kick in the pants to get to sell some stuff to some new collectors or get stuff out there. And so we'll just roll with it for an hour and see where our mouths take us. Sounds a weird way. That's a weird way to put it.
I wasn't gonna say it, but it's a little sus.
A little spicy.
Oh man, I appreciate the invite. This is kind of cool to hang out with you. I know. I try to catch as much live streams as humanly possible, man. But there's only so many hours in a day.
Absolutely.
And you know how it is. Once you get on a roll, and once you're in the zone, like there's very little that kind of stops you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those cool things where I surround myself with this, man. Like this whole toy thing. It's like a fucking. It's like a virus. It's like a virus, man. It gets in all up in you and it never really goes away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just today is interesting, right? Like seeing what's happening today from where I started, and like seeing everybody come up and everybody have access to such amazing intel and technology, and your dreams are really only limited right now by you. Like that's the crazy part. And if you really think about it, right now, barely you can sketch something on a piece of paper, and within a couple hours, the freaking thing is in your hand.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. You know what I mean? Like that to me is the most fascinating, most contagious kind of like, aspect of all this. It's the ability to be able to create we're damn near at a point where it's almost instantaneously. You know what I mean? Especially if you have the right skill sets and all the right knowledge. Dude, it's infectious. I can't. I'm an addict, and I'm not sure if it's ever gonna get away from me. I will always try to do my best to have a hand in something that has to do with toys and production. So
for sure,
I'm in, baby. I'm in for the long run. You get stuck with me. I'm
you're
sorry.
all over it, man. And just, I mean, case in point, you're doing something. First of all, you're always online. Your last night was 2 nights ago was 228 Tuesdays with you and Bean rocking it. You got Booze and Buddies. I know you took a hiatus, but you're back this week. You're just go. But on Booze and Buddies, you're running that contest, I guess is the right way to say it.
Yeah, the art challenge.
The art challenge. There you go. That's what I was looking for. With toys that you made that were in Walmart. It's like, hey, go to a Walmart and pick up something I made and let's do an art challenge with it.
Dude, how fucking epic is that?
That's
like
crazy.
To me, as like, you know what I'm saying? Like I come from nothing, man. Like my upbringing was very interesting, and for me to be sitting here 42 years old and be able to say, hey, I don't care where you are in this country, go to Walmart and pick something up that I did. That to me is a bucket list item that I don't think I ever thought would be achievable. Sure. Right. So shout out to Ryan Rutherford, because he's the one that put me in a position where I could succeed on a level that I don't think I ever imagined I could. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's listen, if you're really conscious of how this all goes down and how it happens, like, I'm not getting paid per sale like I would if I'm selling something, but it's something that, I have all the receipts, you know what I mean? I have my sketches, I have my I have my notes from the factory, I have the turnarounds, I have the spec sheet, I have everything. I can show you, man, like, look, this is the idea where it came from. Actually, in that group, I had designed like, I don't know, it's like 12 different figures, and they were the ones that picked and chose which ones they wanted. Sure. So out of the 12, 4 of them got produced, and at that price point, it was just like a super inexpensive like vinyl dog toy. Like, it's still my design, you know what Absolutely. I mean? Like, it's mind blowing. So it's like I'm super fucking humbled by the whole experience, and I'm just happy that I do have a small platform where I can say, hey guys, like, let's kind of enjoy all this. Like, let me share like how happy the hell I am with you. Like, yo, go check this out. Like, it's such a, I don't know, man. It's just been a wild ride. Kind of bittersweet, obviously, but there's 2 more things that I just realized dropped that I designed, which is kind of cool.
Oh, I think we're gonna get to see them.
Oh, and I think I might have showed this off before, but here's a figure that I slid into the.
That color my scheme. Gorilla. That color scheme.
This looks familiar, huh?
I'd walk by that, and if I didn't know, I'd assume.
Listen, for all the time I was there, we did. I designed 3 of them. It was a rhino, a tiger, and a gorilla.
Nice.
They went with the tiger and the gorilla. But right now on Amazon, you can pick up a freaking plush gorilla kettle dog or kettle bell looking plush toy for your doggies. But come on, man, even just as a plush, dude, I'm gonna put this in my gorilla collection. Just understand that. That's how, like, So
how cool.
It's one of those, like, again, bittersweet, because all this happened, all the launches of all the work that I was hands-on happened after I was laid off. So it's like, I never got to see the rollout. I never got to see, it's me seeing it online and like, oh shit, it's available. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a set of like super hard dog chews that I did in a like fossil like style for like the heavy chewers.
Yeah.
And those launched, and I found out there became what we call like $1 million product. So that means that 1 million $1 million were made on a design that I fucking did. So, dude,
that's
all
awesome.
of it just makes like it makes it so surreal sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we all have these like these blinders on, right? Of like, hey, I'm gonna sit in my office, I'm gonna design something, I'm gonna create something, I'm gonna put this out there. But when you see your piece out in the world in the most unexpected places, you're just you listen, there's something inside of you that just like, damn, this feeling I'm getting, I want to replicate it. I'm again, I'm an addict to this feeling. I love that um that rush you get when somebody posts your piece up. Hey, it's in my collection, and you see it in a beautiful fucking gallery,
Yeah.
or it's hanging on a wall somewhere where you shoot. Look at Zazzy's. I have a fucking piece in New York hanging on the wall. Are you
That's
fucking
awesome.
kidding me? Like that
Yeah.
to me, dude. I'm a lucky motherfucker. I'm just in the right spot in the right time, or right time, right spot sometimes, and I geek out, man. I'm just happy. I'm super happy.
So I'm imagining you walking down the aisle of a Walmart and you see one of your things that you've made for the first time, but I'm thinking about the guy who's watching you be very excited about dog toys. He's like, this guy loves his dog toys. What's up with this guy? You know,
Yo,
they don't know the story.
especially when
They
you're
don't know
there taking
yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
and like
Wow.
rearranging shit to take pictures. They look
Yeah.
at me like, yo, this dude is wilding right now.
Yeah. Man,
You
that's
know, everything
awesome.
just kind of goes away, man. Like you're in a moment. You're in a
Sure.
moment. I think there's certain things that I can, you know, going into a store and seeing something, right? I think the first experience was a magazine. I think it was like Gore Nor magazine or Gorgasm, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember going to like Barnes and Noble and like specifically going to find this magazine that I had an article feature in. And I'm like, oh, was it that? No, bullshit. I take it back. It was an auto club that I had did a logo
Okay.
for, and they bought a space. It was the first time like I was published.
That's
I
so cool.
was the dude geeking out, like, babe, take a picture. No, take a selfie. Hey, and people were walking by looking at me. I'm like, no, listen, I'm in the magazine. I'm in the
That's
magazine.
awesome. Look, Mom, we made it.
It's just a fucking feeling, man. That
Yeah.
like we should always strive for it. Look at what you're doing right now and say, is this the best I can be doing? How further can I take this? Like where can I like put some fucking real goals in front of you, like real ones. Like I want to be
Absolutely.
featured on this website, or I want to be in a print magazine, or I want to fucking whatever it is. We just gotta put those goals that everybody around you tells you you can't do. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And you put that goal up there, and you say, I'm going to. I don't care what happens. I'm going to like. I'm going to make it here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make that goal happen. And even if it's, even if it seems impossible, man, nothing, I am proof that nothing is impossible in this world, brother. Not a damn thing.
That's a great way to look at things. Do you find it easy to carry that over into the rest of your life? Or is it just really in your art and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I live my life that way of like, everybody here understands, like, you've always like I don't know about everybody else, but even in my own family, I've been told I'm not good enough, or I'm not gonna get there, or I'm not gonna make enough money, or how you gonna make a living doing that? How you gonna do this? It's like all this negativity, man. It's like that's why like I try my damnedest to push all that to the side. Listen, it's not if you really truly know me, I am sometimes an asshole. I have anger issues, right? But I try to take that negativity and use it as fuel. It's like, okay, well, you said I can't do this. Okay, hold my beer. Because right now, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you see what I just did. Because I remember that you told me I couldn't do it. And that goes with everything. That's from raising kids to, buying a house to driving the car that I wanted to, it's a force that drives me on a daily. It's like, look, you told me I couldn't do it. And there's a chip on my shoulder of like, I already told myself there's certain things I can't do. Now you're telling me I can't do it? Oh no, hell no. Like this has to change. So that it's a like Funny Marco said, it's a mindset thing. You just gotta sometimes just drop what's happening around you. Forget about all the nonsense. Look, I post what the hell happens to me on a personal level a lot, because I want you guys to see that, look, even with the nonsense that happens, I want you to see the success. I want you to see that, look, there's no excuse that I put up. Even if I'm late sometimes, I will get shit done, and I will use that to as fuel of like, hey, like shit happens. Life is gonna kick you in the fucking nuts. But at the end of the day, you gotta get up. You gotta keep moving. You just gotta just put your head down sometimes and just go. And if you don't have that kind of attitude and that tough skin, you're gonna get eaten up. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. I've been in all kinds of industries, guys. Like you name it, I've probably done it. I've been working since I was 14 years old, and I haven't stopped. And it doesn't matter what it is. You have to create this positive bubble around you, because that attracts positivity, and that attracts the people of like-mindedness, and that's when it becomes easier to go through a hardship and say, nah, you know what, these guys are looking out for me. This person, look, a kind word, a phone call, a text, all that shit is important in what we do. So never forget that. Never forget that, for sure.
And proof positive to when someone tells you can't, and overcoming is, Evil Ghosty says he once told you that you couldn't down a New York hot dog in under a minute, and you finished it in one bite. So I mean, if that doesn't prove you're a conqueror,
that's just a hidden talent I have. All right, I'm a glizzy champion. So worry, why is Ghosty putting my personal information out there?
Yeah, that Smitty says you should be proud of the work you do. If you aren't, then why are you doing it? And that's that's
very true.
Yeah, there's something to, sometimes you gotta do some work you maybe don't want to do while you're taking strides where you want to be. But Facts. I think in the long term, you want to be. It's like, I would say I'm proud I hung in and did jobs I didn't want to do and worked places that I didn't like, so that I could do other things. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's that balance.
You are a product of what you've done in the past, right? So it's like Absolutely. Everything that you did before today dictates what you are today. It doesn't dictate what you are tomorrow, but it dictates what you are today. Yeah. And if you said, you know what, I'm gonna work here. I know I don't like this place, but damn it, the money's good. It's gonna put me in a decent position. These are all conscious actions and things that you gotta do to make sure that you make it to the next day. Listen, what we do, finding success here, it's tough. It's tough. Let's be real honest. It's tough. It's art is so subjective. The niche that we're in is small. It's very small.
Yeah.
I've poked the bear, and I've done all kinds of crazy stuff around this niche for years. And I think I built up a skill set that helps me in this niche. Sure. But at the end of the day, like the real money that are some of my corporate clients and some of the things that you don't really want to do, but it funds the fun stuff. Yeah. So, you take it as it comes.
Yeah, sure. So speaking of that, what are some of the things, I know that you're a phenomenal illustrator, and this is stuff you do, and then seeing, just the way you get down and you draw, and just the life that you bring to characters, pen to paper is awesome. Stuff you do digital is amazing. But then we were talking one time and you threw out something that I'm like, whoa, well, he does 3D sculpting too. And then I was like, wait, the other night when we were chatting, you were doing some, key poses for animation. I'm like, what does he not do, or has he not done? I mean, is this a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing? Except you're a master illustrator, in my opinion. So,
I think I'm like my pops, and I'm gonna make this analogy kind of interesting, because my dad he's a jack of all trades. That dude knows every flipping thing. Mm-hmm. From construction to mechanics to to being a licensed electrician to, the man could fix any mechanical thing. He'll look at it. He's like, okay, I got it. This is how you do it. Like, he's a savant, right? Yeah. Now, my lazy ass never wanted to be a manual laborist. You know what I'm saying? I did it. Like, you better believe I can throw down and I can build you a fucking deck, and I can, my pop didn't raise a fool. You know what I'm saying? He basically instilled in us, you gotta work. There's no way around it. Like, everything that you do will be based around how much you can bring in. You can take care of your family, you can take care of friends, you can take care of those in need.
Sure.
And those were his basic kind of his pillars. Is like, look, if someone's in need, you help. But he instilled this kind of work ethic. Okay, so let's backtrack to when I started. Like, I started this whole career. I'm gonna call it a career because it's now been 20 plus years of me doing art professionally.
Absolutely.
It was always out of sheer survival instinct, right? So I started as a computer animator. That's what I graduated college with. I have a BFA in computer animation. So like 3D animation is in my blood. It was one of those things that I dedicated my entire life to. I have a chip on my shoulder because I never made it into an animation studio, right? I did background elements. I animated, interstitials. I've animated intros. I think I have birds in one of a AAA hunting games somewhere. I got credit for somewhere.
Nice.
But when I had my first kid, spending 18 hours in front of a computer animating just wasn't a bait, like it just wasn't an option, right? Like,
yeah.
I fell in love with my kid, and I'm like, my kid is everything. And so I took a step back. But after college, it was, after I couldn't land a decent 3D job, I freelanced. So I picked on anything that anybody would say, hey, are you a creative? Can you do this? I said yes, even if I didn't know it, right? So that the 3D animation threw me into Flash animation, right? I picked up a bunch of gigs in Flash right out of college. So my animation skills lent real easy, like, they lent real easy to 2D animation. Well, Flash introduced me to like action strips. So then I started, coding, and that turned into getting freelance gigs, doing interactive, courseware and websites and Flash sites, and I programmed a Wii game for a pharmaceutical kiosk at a convention. Like, it just kind of kept piling on. Every time I needed to make money, I had to learn a new skill. And I never, for every 9 to 5 that I always had a set of clients that kept me relevant. That has been my MOs even before I started this whole toy industry. When I got here, I was at a point where I'm like, I was at a pharmaceutical company, just driving myself insane. It was the least creative job I've ever had. I was running circles around their graphic design team because I'm designing logos for clients on my own. So like, when a client comes in, my biggest asset I always felt was my ability to just be a chameleon. I can sit with you, pick your brain on what exactly you want, and I will produce it for you. I go back 20 years of doing this, and it's just like, it became, easy for me. Like, sure. I don't, it was, I'm a people person. I like talking to people. I like, I think if you can connect on a different level, past the business side of things, if I can sit down with you, it's like, okay, why do you want this logo? Oh, there is a personal story that comes attached with it, and if you can tap into that, you win that client every single, like 95% of the time, you're going to win that client because you're connecting with them on such a different level.
Yeah.
So fast forward to I'm sitting there just losing my mind. Now I have my second kid. I really can't go back to animation, but I'm reinvigorized by some animators I went to see from Blue Sky at a Maya users meeting group up in New York after a huge stint in California. I've told the story before, but it was the introduction of like everything that I've done up to that point, right? It's like, hey, here is a way where you can animate or use a skill set for animation. So everything that I do for animation, sketching, illustrating, sculpting, texturing, rigging, everything but animation. Once I get to that point, is I can make a right and animate, or I can make a left, and now I'm 3D printing my own figures, which has always been a fascination with me. I love characters. I love backstories. When we were in the trenches in the animation curriculum, like, you were beat over the head that anything that you can animate, you can give it a story, and
Yeah.
people will fall in love with stories before they fall in love with characters. And then once you have those two things, and they fall in love with the story and the character, you have a hit on your hands. So it's like everything that I've learned up to now, I got to the toy, like this little toy niche, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why haven't I seen this before? Where the hell have, like, what is this? And I 10 years ago, brother, 10 years ago, I went down the rabbit hole.
That's awesome.
And again, I don't come from much, so my pathway and the road that I carved out was, how can I do this on a budget?
Absolutely.
On a real tight budget.
Absolutely.
I don't have this. I don't have that. But can I sketch something here, right? Flip that, get another piece of get a figure, paint that, flip that. Now take that money and buy some equipment. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I've just been sitting back, kind of soaking it all in. And I encourage anybody who starts up, and gets fascinated with the toy industry, go back, learn the origin story of how the designer toy world exists. Learn what is the difference between a vinyl and a safubi and a resin piece, and the limited drops, and like learn everything before you jump into it. That's the respect that I've given this industry.
Sure.
And I kind of, I hope, I don't expect it, but I hope that people jumping in also do the same, right? I mean, I remember, dude, the first 2 years, all I did was hit every single convention, every single, like, anything where designer toy guys were there, I was there. And that led into me, okay, well, if I'm going to go to a convention, oh, can I sell some shit while I'm here? Like, it's always a hustle mentality of like, how can I get there without having to come out of pocket? And that's always been, that's how I have to approach things. It's like, how can I throw myself into it and make it easy for me to kind of figure out how to infiltrate and then have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
Like the skill sets that I bring to the table, man. Like I've been promoting for fucking years, and unfortunately, I just haven't had the financial to back what I say up until recently, right? And that's like, look, the 3D pipeline I've been pitching since I left college 20 years ago. You are going to find a way to go from 3D to an actual figure, and the possibilities of what that is endless. So, dude, it's just been a long road for me, but I fucking love it. I don't think I would have taken any other way. And now it's just like, now it's time to start reaping some of the rewards. Like, okay, I've had this relationship with this company for 5, 6, 7 years. They know what I bring to the table. They know what, and that's kind of what I'm leveraging nowadays to build my dream, right?
Sure.
To be like you when I grew up, pretty much is what I'm saying.
To be like me, man. I think people have this false idea of me, but I've been in some right places at right times and made some right connections, like you said.
Yeah.
Hustle, be active, talk to people, and make connections, and then just treat people right and bring your best self when you're around.
That's
and be a good person, man.
Listen, people need to hear that more.
Yeah.
You get so much further by just being a good person. And I know there's that stigma of like good guys finish last and all that bullshit. I am one of those dudes where I'm like, I try to be friendly with as many people as possible. You never know who you are going to impress, right? You never know what your first impression is of this other person, or this other person of you.
Yeah.
Dude, I've gotten calls and jobs. Let's be honest. I've gotten gigs where it's like, hey, I met you at so and so, and I remember we talked and you did this. Do you still do that? If you do, man, I would love to hire you. Blah 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 blah. That's a conversation I have once a month. Easy. But me, I don't know how to shut the fuck up. So I talk to everybody in the mama. So
there you go. Hey man, and I feel like, to your point about people saying good guys finish last. If I finished last because I helped you across the finish line, I'm good with that, man.
I'm good.
I'm
good. I think that's one of the tenets of Boozing Buddies on a Friday. It's like, look, I want to show everybody out there that you don't have to be an asshole. You don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be shady. You don't have to do any shady practices. Like, you can actually find success, not only for yourself, but for others, if you just kind of approach it with the right attitude.
Yeah, and I feel like
And
if you do stuff that's not above board, you get found out. I mean, not to go down a rabbit hole, but the Paysket one stuff going on right now in our scene, the people are speaking. You know, it was something behind closed doors. Then all of a sudden, it's out. You know, and it's
there's a lot of, and you know this because you've produced items, you've talked to producers, I'm sure. You've heard some of the silly deals they try to send your way. You've heard some of the contracts that, I think a lot of this is lack of business sense, right? Like, treat it as a business. Some of these deals, they may seem like, hey, this is a gentleman's handshake, blah blah blah. But some of these deals that involve a lot of money, and let's be honest, producing a toy isn't cheap. Cheap. So when you go out there and you see things like that, like, listen, there's tons of. I could sit here and talk about it all night long about all the weird things that are happening behind the scenes, but I can't. But there's going to be a point where you're going to get fed up enough. You're going to build yourself on the backs of us, and we're going to speak out. We're going to speak out. And you see it happening more often than not lately with some heavy hitters, some names that, like, listen, Scat brings his milkshake brings the boys to the yard, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do that? Knowing he has such a big platform, like, you're setting yourself up. So just be careful. It's the one thing I would tell everybody. Just be mad careful.
Yeah. So, we're talking toys, but you said about 10 years ago you got into doing toys. And do you have any stuff around you that you could kind of show us a history of, like, these are some of my milestones?
Okay, so there are some surviving OG. I think I have my first attempt at sculpting something close by. And I was cleaning out the office recently. Right. I'm like, holy smokes. It's unfinished, just like everything else in my life right now. So one of the first, all right, let me spin this around. Sorry for the hot mess I have here. Can barely see here.
We're going down memory lane.
We're going down memory lane. I have a couple of my first few sculpts, and a couple of some sculpts that were they did really well for me. But I'll show you the first thing I worked on that never got done.
So did you start out hand sculpting stuff? Like, is that how you started?
I did, kind of. So I was introduced to the Sketchbot. If you know the Sketchbot, let me put this down real quick. Sorry about that. If you know the Sketchbot, it's by Steve Tukowski. One of my first attempts at, like, doing something was on that platform. So I'll show you here. I'm just putting the feed in real quick. So this, I want to say this is pushing about 10 years old right now. Oh, you can't see. There it is.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at that.
Never finished, never think. I threw myself in it. I was like, I know that, again, I was a digital guy to begin with, right? I was doing everything on a computer. Going back to, like, sculpting things, I had to learn. So again, this is the actual first thing I've ever worked on once I figured out that this whole designer toy thing. One of my first resin pieces, shout out to Cash Cannon, because he was the one that actually casted this even before I knew how to mold and cast.
Nice.
Was something we did with it was called 7 Deadly Sins, and I had the Antichrist. So this is I don't even know what, like, God, man, again, pushing 9-10 years easy. And this is the master of that.
Is that Sculpey?
This is Sculpey. So again, I know a lot of people hate on Sculpey, but
it's a tool.
Done right. It's a tool. I knew it was going to be resin. I honestly didn't expect it to last this long. I have some other Sculpey pieces that are completely destroyed, but I guess I did my thing and I learned right, and I heated it correctly. Awesome. But yeah, dude, I just got random. Let's see here. So on this shelf, it's just OG sculpts that I like. This is an old release. It's a little kit bash. Sorry. There we go. That's the Hulk Buster I used to do with Dad's cartoons. Again, little kit bash action. This is a pumpkin that never got released. Here's the master for the Cobra Commander bootleg that I did years back. And you got some old things that just never came to be. Here's one that did very well was my Groot. My Groot. Basically, I sculpted him so that he fit in a little mini pot like this.
Yeah, yeah.
He will go in here. I mean, this was a couple years now, but they exist around. So then what I would do to make it completely unique is I casted the body, but then all the arms were hand sculpted.
So each one was unique.
So every single one was a unique one-off. I did everything from Groot holding selfies to Groot holding Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, and
nice.
It was really cool. So yeah, that's some OG, man. Like that's some OG releases. I wish I kept one of everything I did, but my dumbass never did that. I kind of regret it to this day.
I hear you. I always tell myself I'm going to, and then I don't, because and
I never do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, I could have it sitting on a shelf here, or it could be in someone's collection. You know.
Facts. And yeah. I find it difficult, kind of like, especially when, you know, when you're in that hustle mentality of like, oh man, I got my, you know, I'm at a con, I'm selling things. It's like, it's hard to hold on to stuff if people want it. Like it's again, the same thing. I'd rather know that it's sitting in somebody's collection than sitting on my shelf collecting dust. Like to me, it's like I got other people's stuff collecting dust. Like I collect everyone else's stuff. Mine, not so much.
Yeah. Well, and I know how it feels when I get something for my collection that I really wanted. And to think that like I'm helping provide that to other people when they're like, "Oh, do you have any more of this?" I'm like, "Well, I just have like mine, but I kind of
you want it." Yeah. Oh, dude, that conversation is always bittersweet, right? It's like, damn, like I kind of want to keep it, but it's yours, man. Go ahead, why not?
Absolutely. So what do you got going on these days? You know, I know. Do you want to talk about the skinny caps or any of that stuff?
Yeah, man. You know what's cool is I've had the fortunate luck, again, being in the right place, right time type of deal, where you know, I've been pushing heavy on more production work. And again, I set a goal 10 years ago of like, I want my own figure. I know exactly what I want. It's the P-Rilla. It's the big gorilla figure of my story. I know the price tag of what it takes to make it. So it's like, okay, whoo, I got a long road ahead of me. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to build a name for myself in the production side of things. So I can, again, take my skill set and easily transfer it. Like I can walk you through the production process, right? Like I've been there. So producing on that kind of scale, to me, it's super fascinating. And with that being said, like the first production vinyl that has my DNA all over it 100% was the Banana Skinny Cap.
It's so cool. Oh, we just lost your audio. Can you hear me? We can't hear you.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry, it was yeah, somebody was calling. Sorry. So the Banana Skinny Cap is something that it's part of my roadmap, right? I wanted to prove to someone, to a producer, that hey, I can give you a quick and inexpensive way to produce a vinyl figure. So what you see here is that it's a one molded piece. There's no articulation. I designed the box. I 3D modeled the cap. I designed all the illustrations. So it's like awesome. The producer had, all they had to do was invest in the actual, you know, breaking of the molds and that part of the side of production. So
they just did an exclusive on Decon Online today, right? It's a drop.
Correct.
Congrats.
We dropped the final colorway in our 10 color array. Awesome. It was on network with Benny, and Benny from Tenacious Toys is the producer of this bad boy here. So you'll see his name also kind of all over the box as well. But we dropped the pink cap today. So what we did was we did 10 colorways, only one being with deco, which is the green with everyone, and then we dropped all blank colors: white, pink, glow in the dark blue, black, green. So it's like today was the final push on all. So now all color caps are available. I'm happy to announce that out of the 10 colorways, we've sold out of 4.
That's great.
So with that, one of the first sellouts was the white one, which is the classic white banger right here.
Yeah.
We have some amazing news though, so you got to tune in tomorrow, all right, on Booze and Buddies, because in our second iteration of the DIY, we went ahead and removed the packaging. Why did we do that? To lower the price. So there's going to be a new contender out of the 10 colorways. It is going to be the white one, but in new packaging and at a price that you're going to poop yourself a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little poop is going to come out and then come back in. You're good. But but we have that set up. We're going to launch it tomorrow. So if you want to know the special pricing, let me give you a little preview so you guys can see. You guys should have seen this because some of the artists have already been receiving it, because we are doing our first Banana Skinny custom show. So there it is. This is the.
I wasn't gonna hold mine up. And I didn't want to spoil the packaging.
People have been receiving the new DIY. So this one, we made an effort to lower the price significantly. So if we will still have our releases inbox for those that want it, but for my DIYers who want to get in, get nasty, get dirty, and start customizing, we have we are officially going to release them tomorrow on Booze and Buddies. That's going to be the first time you can get them. So cool. Some of the artists that are part of the show have received them, so they're the first ones to actually hold the new run of the whites in hand. So there it is, guys. I'm super stoked and super excited to share that with you guys. And I know Barely's part of the New York Comic-Con custom show. We're bringing. I'm pulling all stops out, man. There's gonna be solo, single customized caps. Then I have a few artists doing collaboration caps. So you're gonna have some of your favorite artists collaborating on a cap. Then some of your favorite resin artists are also gonna produce small runs of smaller resin caps, and that's not including. I'll show one off. I don't know if I showed this off yet. This is gonna be exclusive. So I am going to be starting something called the Artist Series, and we're going to launch it on New York Comic Con. And these are caps that come with a fun little sticker pack that you can do some crazy customs with. What? This is going to be the first featured one right here. So this is the Captain America, actually the Capitan Puerto Rico cap, because we can infringe on certain things. But as you can see, this is the prototype. So there's a little tweaking that I still have to do. Yeah, but you're going to be able to score caps like this, which is going to be Captain America and Black Panther for New York Comic Con, plus one, possibly 2 artist series that I won't announce just yet, but they'll get the same exact treatment where I invited them to take a solid color, design a sticker set for me, and they're going to be featured at New York Comic Con. So just know that there's a lot coming for the custom show that, guys, I'm so excited about, from caps to hats to stickers and pins and the whole rollout of merch, and hopefully have a huge photo op for everybody. So please do not miss out on the Banana Skinny custom cap happening in New York Comic Con with your favorite Barely available as part of one of the featured guests as well. So super stoked, super excited. I don't know what else to say, man. This is one I've been waiting for a while, and I can't believe that it's finally happening, and you guys are gonna see a hell of a lineup with this crew that's coming.
And people in the chat are saying, Deco Pop says, "Bro, that's hot." Gadoot's throwing out the fire. Yeah, people. Whoa. What else? Gadoot said their collab partner got their cap already.
Yep.
So it sounds like a collaboration there. Yeah, lots of positive feedback on it, man. That's some big dream stuff, man. That's awesome.
It is. I've personally had my hands on curating God knows how many shows, right? Like if you guys know, I was the managing partner at the mothership for a while. I managed Arsenal of Artists for a while. Like, I'm not new to the custom show game, but the first time where it's my platform and my favorite fucking artist throwing down. I'm just, dude, I'm beyond excited. You
should be, and that's a big milestone. You know what I mean? That's something to check off a list. You know.
100%, 100%. Like after that, like I said, you set goals, right?
Yeah.
One of my goals was to prove to a producer that, listen, I may not have the scratch, I may not have the financial means to produce something, but tag team with me, team up with me. I promise you that, like, you know, I can bring to the table an extreme value. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Absolutely.
you don't have to worry about any other designers. You don't have to worry about any other sculptors. You don't have to worry about shit. Just me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this was the first step, and now it's on. Once this on, once this is out there, and there's content for the world to see that, hey, not only can we produce something, we can also market it. We can also host shows with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a huge rollout that I'm just, dude. I am fucking humbled and just beyond the moon right now.
Yeah, that's something you bring up. Having those skills and those abilities and bringing them to the table and sharing them. You sound like you very excellently walk the line of being a super humble dude, but knowing your worth and not being afraid to say it. How do you find that balance for yourself of staying humble but rocking the hustle and saying, no, I got it, I'm the guy, I'm your guy? Because that doesn't sound humble to some people.
It is very hard, because how do you explain to a producer, somebody that doesn't know you, what you bring to the table? Like, to be honest, when Ryan reached out to me for the pet industry job, he literally looks at me, he's like, what is it that you do, bro? Because every time I look, you're doing something else, you're doing something different, and it's always like, I'm like, wherever I can plug in to make $1, I'm going to, right? And I've honed these skills over the course of 20 plus years. The problem lies that it's hard. It's hard to say, hey, I'm your guy, because I find it very difficult, one, to take compliments, two, to realize how much I've actually done, and three, to kind of, especially when the homies hit me up. Like, I find it very difficult. Somebody's, hey man, I need the logo done. I know you can do it. I love you. Stop it. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, anybody else, I would charge you $550, but man, I can't do that. You're a brother of mine. I know your kids. Like, how can So there's a lot of times where I shoot myself in the foot and and just really bend over backwards to bring some really good prices to some of the people that I fuck with, and people that truly know me. Sure. But on the swing side of that is that I try to maintain my corporate clientele separate, where it's like, no, like, you're getting a discount over here because you're my friend, but it's more likely coming because I just charged my actual prices and my actual rates over here. So the balance I find is like, I can offer you something cool on the low, but I know that now I have to work harder and find me a new client, or find me a new gig where I can charge my actual going rate. It's a hard line to walk, because you don't want to underprice yourself. You know exactly how much, like, I know exactly how long it's going to take me. So that means, okay, well, this job is going to take me 10 hours to do. Well, that means that those 10 hours have to be squeezed out a day somewhere, right? Or 2 days or 3 days. Yeah. So it's like, okay, if I take this 10-hour job and now lost 3 nights doing it, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of since I have my hands in so many pots, it gets a little crazy sometimes. But just know, man, that it's possible. It's just, you're gonna piss some people off. Some people are gonna say no. Yeah. But it's all good. For every person that says no, I'm fortunate enough that there's somebody else right behind them that's gonna say yes. So, like I said, I've never stopped working. I'm laid off now from a 9 to 5, but god damn it, I've never worked harder in my life.
You're so busy, dude. You are so busy. I was crossing my fingers that you were gonna be able to show this week.
This right here is my to-do list just for this week.
Oh, geez.
Right there, and that one. So back and forth. So it's like, and this is not including like a shelf full of customs that I still owe folks. There's, shoot, right now I forgot that I have a deadline tonight. I have to submit some turnarounds for I can't say who it was with yet,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's gonna be a huge kind of collaboration. Hopefully, if it all works out, between this huge company and what I'm about to do, and I'm gonna design them up a figure that hopefully gets produced, and we'll get it in. So
Man,
fingers
that's
crossed.
exciting. That's exciting. You know, people obviously care about you in the chat. They're like, "Don't burn yourself out." But I get a feeling that some of this, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you weren't running at this speed.
I honestly, I tell this to everybody. What happened to me today, I think, is part of my body telling me, "Hey,
Mm,
slow the fuck down." But I've been doing this so long, and I've been burning the candle at both ends for so long that it's like this is my normal, right?
yeah.
It sucks because not everybody gets their stuff on time. Some people do. Some, what I mean. It just depends on what I got to go through my list and say, okay, well, there's digital stuff on here, there's sculpting stuff on here. How can I manage my time where it's like, okay, if I sit in front of my Maya and sculpt for the next 8 hours, can I bang out one or two jobs? Yes, that's like let's
Yeah.
so it's the way my brain works, bro. Like it never stops. That's the one thing that like I cannot stress enough that something's wrong up here because it's just always like, I should be doing this. Oh no, but if I do it this way, oh yeah, but I can make sure I gotta invoice this person. Oh shit, did I ship this out? Oh shit, no, I did. It's constant, man, and
Yeah.
it's just if you know me, you'll know that it's nonstop, brother. It's just nonstop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as much as I was bummed out that Bosom Buddies took a hiatus, I was excited for you and Fett, that it's like, yes, they realize this is rest is fuel. This is valuable
Yeah,
time. I'm going to get a bunch of other stuff done and we'll be back. And you leave the people wanting more, right?
yeah. I mean, it came to a point where we were burnt out, man. Like
Yeah.
think about everything you're doing right now and add on top of the fact that we were doing at minimum a custom a week for the show. Not maybe a small run of resin, but we were always trying to drop something. And in the last couple of weeks, we got overwhelmed of like, hey man, we're not producing the way we needed to. So the hiatus was a must. It was a must. And what's crazy is that it was a hiatus from the show, but we tripled up on the workload that we had to take on, and we just been working for the last 2 weeks, just bananas, just
Yeah.
crazy. Is setting up the New York Comic Con show, setting up the Stranger Cat, our first Booze and Buddies in gallery show down in Strange Cat Toys, like all that, man, all that. Somebody has to do it, and
Yeah.
you're looking. I'm lucky to have like Evil Ghosty on the team that helps out a lot. Yes, he helps out a lot. That helps out a lot.
Purple.
But at the end of the day, man, it's like you're hosting the show. You're working for the show. You have your own shows you have to do. You have your own clientele. You have your own work, and you still have your wife, kids, and household to take care of. So
Yeah.
the
And
hustle. The hustle is not for like this. Hustle is not for everybody. Is what I keep saying.
yeah, and it's I appreciate this kind of stuff and the real chats and getting to spend time talking with other artists and getting people in the chat because it's easy to think, oh, they've got this artist life or they're doing this stuff, it must be nice making toys, but then we're on 228 the other night and you can't even get Grubhub to bring you the right food, right? Like they just jacked
Yeah.
up your dinner and you're still playing, you're still dad and you're still dealing with dinner, right?
Exactly. And I think I'm so happy you brought that up because it's like what people see is what I am showing, like, or what you're showing, right? It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Nobody realizes how that tip of the iceberg is hanging on tight above the water because of all the shit that happens underneath that makes everything work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I am just that. That's all I am at the end of the day. And I fucking love it. That's my job first, right? So like when I have responsibilities of like, hey, I still got to put on as Playful Gorilla. My kids are still waiting. Hey, Dad, they didn't send me my damn chicken sandwich. I you know what I mean? Like it's funny that you bring it up because that's it. It's the balance that we have to constantly always manage, and I wouldn't change it for anything, brother. I really wouldn't.
It's awesome. Well, and part of that balance, I want to, stay true to my commitment to you for an hour and my commitment to my family who's like, I hear my boys scrambling behind the door. They're like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, so
My boy just showed up because he had his first flag football practice today. So it's
oh,
like,
that's awesome.
and the only reason I'm not out there with him was because I just needed a rest in the eyes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But every Thursday moving forward, that's where you're gonna find me. It's gonna be cheering on my son on the sideline. So listen, this is the life we chose, and I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah. Well, in the last couple minutes, man, anything you want to share coming up? Let people know who maybe just found out about you tonight, where they can
Yeah.
find you,
So
what shows you got coming up.
we have okay. So the next show, you guys, I don't think I showed this off either. I'm doing a huge release, not a huge release, but a pretty big release this weekend on my latest character, which is called Wiz Wit.
Love it.
And it's my old Philly, and it's a giant cheesesteak character right there, Wiz Wit. So,
So cool.
I am a day behind because I went to the ER today, but he was supposed to be already primed tonight. We're working on this. This is for Saturday's Made in Philly show at the Mothership Gallery,
Nice.
and then Sunday I'm doing a drop with CTC, Evan and the boys over there. We're doing the very first glow in the dark Wiz Wit. So this guy here has some UV light and a ton of glow.
Nice. That's
You guys are
uranium.
leaving? You wait for 5 minutes before you guys leave? No?
No.
No?
Trying to get there fast.
All right. That's fine. I'll tell you, brother, goodbye.
Okay.
All right. Have fun and then call me before you go to bed. Okay?
Good night, Dad.
So these guys, they're light bulbs, man. They glow like a mofo right there. Look at that thing. And that's it of everything. There's gonna be a small run. I think I'm trying to get to 10 for Sunday. So check out Sunday's drop. It is I'm linking up again with Five Borough Prints. We're actually gonna be doing a glow in the dark matching hat. So that's
sweet.
what we're working. Yeah, so it's a hat and toy combo. I'm gonna announce it here. That's a hats and toy combo. I'm still waiting on the final prototype. We're working back and forth on trying to get it done.
Nice.
But if it works tonight, glow in the dark hat, glow in the dark toy.
That's
Come
cool.
on, man, you can't
Are you
beat that
casting
right
those
there.
up yourself?
Yes. So right now I have one in the pot. So the minute I get off of here, I'm gonna go. I got 5 done and a couple miscasts.
Nice.
So check out the miscast show.
There you go. Plug.
Because we'll definitely have some of these
Awesome. That's
crazy
insane.
glow ones.
That is
Look at that. Dude. It's like a light bulb.
On my stream, we call those the dongle special because
Yes, the dongle special. Shout
Yeah.
out to Golden Don.
the golden dongle. If it glows, it goes home is his mantra on the show.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if he got one, but one of our blue caps glows as well. I don't know if it's the. So we got a glow in the dark cap. We got the glow in the dark Wiz Wits. Like, listen, we're across the board barely. We're trying to make this. So
I hear.
don't mind the ER visit. The hustle is back on tonight. There's 2 major projects I gotta finish. Red, I saw your message. I'm on it. I am on it. I just gotta finish it up. And then the next big project happens tonight as well. I got to do that. And then casting away the rest of the night.
Busy, man. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us, sharing so much wisdom, so much positive energy. Booze and Buddies is back tomorrow night.
Booze and Buddies is back. It's going to be a light show. We don't have a featured guest. We just kind of want to bring it all back and just enjoy a Friday night with all the BBs, give some updates, show some love, and there's one big surprise tomorrow.
Oof.
And that's going to be the announcement of the price of the caps with the chance to win yourself a spot at the New York Comic-Con Banana Skinny Cap Custom Show if you weren't invited. So I'm offering up one spot. We'll tell the details tomorrow. Make sure you tune in 9:30 p.m. EST. Right on my Instagram at Playful Gorilla. Booyakasha.
Boom. That's awesome. Well, thanks again, man. Appreciate you. I just appreciate, again, like I said, all the positivity that you just keep putting out and spending some time with us. I'm looking to see if Bean is on to. She does custom toy art on Thursdays. So let's see if she's up so we can raid her. But yeah. Again, let's see. Is she on?
Is she on?
Let's see. All right.
It looks like she's off.
It's online, so we're gonna raid. in a couple seconds. So again, thank you, Playful. If you don't follow Playful Gorilla on Instagram, you are missing out. Check out Booze and Buddies tomorrow. Best of luck at the art show on Saturday. And,
Thank you, Jace.
And man, I just appreciate you, and we'll be in touch soon. And I love all of you. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.
And we are rated.